Hello, everyone. I'm Paul Uliberry. I'm joined by Dave Felberg, and together we're bringing you commentary for the 2019 Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open, presented by Pro Discus. This is the third stop on the Pro Tour. Dave, what card do we have here, man? What do we got going on?
Seems like we have the feature card, all the greats. We have Wysocki, McMahon, Jones, and Gurthie.
Yeah, it's going to be
I mean, Gurthie seems to play the best here. Jones is the local, and then we got the two stars. I mean,
absolutely. And we have some nice slow-mo. This particular film is actually going to be a little bit different than most. We're taking smash cut off of the live feed, and we've kind of cut it down into a version to where you guys can watch it kind of quickly. But it's going to be, the edited version is kind of a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I like these slow-mo cuts, though. I mean, gives you some kind of preview. I think we should do a lot more of the highlighted cuts. But kind of explain, what the highlights are. Like, was that Katrina for birdie, or was that Katrina for, bogey?
Yeah. So we're getting started here. Hole 1, par 3, 450 feet. This is I think it's the 7th most difficult hole on the course, and it's right there in front of you. It plays insanely far, though. I mean, it is an absolute rip, all you can get to get it there.
Well, I mean, I know Gurthie here's throwing an Emperor, one of the new signature discs from Infinite, and he goes long. Can you believe that?
I mean, yeah. It's funny, this is one of the cards to where, 3 out of the 4 could go long.
But you see how they're all late flexing there on the right? No matter where you throw this hole, if you try to put the turn on it, it pulls you down to the right. It doesn't matter what the wind is. It's strange. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, and I think we mentioned that.
Whoa!
He almost aced it. Are you kidding me? We mentioned that Macbeth was on this card. Pardon us. It was actually Eagle McMahon. So, and then we got the local kid here.
Oh,
Kevin
it is
Jones.
Eagle McMahon.
Yep. And and that's really the miss. So you'll see a lot of people try to get on it, and if you flip it too much, you can go right into like a little tree bunker. And if you don't get enough flip, you'll kind of be in position like Kevin there.
Right.
To the left.
It seems to be, it's really hard to find the right shot. For Ricky to almost ace it there, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's not really a real thing.
But, if you look at Ricky, one of his best skills is that he gets parked a lot.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They think that he's a great putter, but if you look at his stats, he's better at driving than putting, according to the Pro Tour.
As far as getting close.
Yeah.
For sure. If he has a good day, like you said, he's throwing it so far that those upshots are really close, and he's highly accurate from distance. And there's Double G tapping in.
And it's just something about that first hole makes you turn it over. I don't know.
Because you're trying to throw it as hard as you can.
Out of the car, yeah.
Yeah. Hole 2. This is I would say one of the more difficult holes on the course. Par 4, 820 feet. You're gonna have to hit a small gap off the tee to the right, and then it's kind of easy to go too far right and get stuck with an awkward angle up to the pin. We'll see.
Well, that's what you don't want to do on this hole. You have to hit the gap. But I want to see, Eagle's gone Anheuser here a few times.
Really?
And I've seen that play. It puts you around the tree up on the hill for an easy hyzer into the hole. So, I'd love to see if he's going to do that here. But like you said, if you're not in the perfect position down there and there's a big sog due to the rain, that, really messes with the footing. So you have to get really far left or just the perfect spot.
And it plays really far up the hill. From his position right there, that's a little bit too far left, possibly.
Oh, he is going for it, look.
Nice, good call.
Yeah.
Let's see what
Boom.
And it looks like it's turned over. And he's parked the hole. I'm just kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
And he gets a unlucky roll away.
So he hits the shot and still ends up in the regular hyzer lane. So.
And we saw Ricky kind of do exactly what you don't want to do, like you said. Like, it's actually a pretty small gap to hit, and it's pretty easy to get sucked into that left position.
It used to scare the guys enough in the first few years here where they used to throw the big hyzer around, remember?
That's right. And that's a really good shot. But that's almost a circle 2.
Is he going to make that for his par save?
You can't count him out.
All right. I don't know. I definitely haven't seen anything. I have no idea how this is going to go. I was out playing and then went and got myself some food.
So this is all new to you. You didn't
Yeah.
look at any of the scores?
Nope, I have no idea.
Nice. So here's Eagle with that. It's still just an absolute perfect shot from over there. He's got to miss these little branches there, and that's going to be circles. Oh, he kind of leaked a little bit right. That was an easier shot, actually.
I noticed that when you look at this hole, it's for some reason, no matter how easy or far you get up there, it's so hard to get to the pin. Now, Garrett's approach here, I've never seen anybody do what he did. Do you think he did that on purpose to be over there for that wide open hyzer that he just had?
I mean, it makes sense now, but you have to have so much power to be able to make that corner and get to where he was.
You know, when you get to their level of distance, you're looking at the hole differently.
Yeah.
You know, he's always looking for a big hyzer second shot so he doesn't have to worry about distance control.
And I gave it a good bid there.
Good old Rickster. He's starting to warm up, it looks like. Eagle McMahon off the top.
It's just a really hard hole to birdie. And that's a safe par.
Yeah, you know, he's looking like he's going to be making a lot of those this year. If you look, his stats have gone way up in putting, and especially outside the circle.
Yeah, Kevin Jones.
Yeah.
He's really comfortable, especially just right outside the circle. And there's one of the rare birdies on hole 2 right there from Garrett.
Like nothing. Like it was a regular birdie.
Right.
Oh, Ricky getting a little slippery. I think the tape maybe didn't fall over the high-speed tape. Or
This hole's actually playing as the second most difficult hole on the course, so it's definitely got some teeth. And then you go from the second most difficult hole on the course to one that if you have the distance, you really feel like you should be getting this birdie. This is hole 3, par 3, 435 feet. And it's kind of right there in front of you. You have a little bit of OB to the left, but for the most part, if you throw a nice flex shot, you're going to have a putt.
I mean, they give you all the room on the right to make a mistake.
Right.
So, I mean, you'll see most players pull a little to the right with a more stable disc just so they have no chance of going OB. And like you said, for these guys with this distance, it's a pretty routine shot, as Garrett just showed us, 2 feet from the pole.
So Garrett's off to a nice start. And this is he turned that one over. I wonder if that's once you, like you said, once you get to that high level, big distance. I wonder if it's tough to kind of tone down.
It is. I think that, you know,
because I'm throwing this, and I'm sure you're throwing this as well, as hard as we can to get.
Yeah,
to
I'm
the
giving
circle.
it a full rip. I think what happens, especially when you get to their level of distance, you end up taking a lot off, and because you used to throw stable. I remember Gurthie throwing just Firebirds.
Right.
You know, and I think that it starts to wear on their body, and you know, all of these guys have had a little bit of injury problems.
Sure.
And I think that maybe, you know, he's trying not to throw his max there, where he probably could rip it as hard as he can, and then he's trying a little disc control, and it gets away from him.
That's a good point.
Where you look like Garrett there, just ripped something real stable.
Yeah.
Had no chance of not making it to the hole.
And here's Ricky. Ricky needs to get going.
There it is.
And that's getting going right there.
He made that, what is that, 35-footer? It looked like about a 20-footer from him, didn't it?
Uphill, yeah. And something you guys can't hear watching is there's a lot of construction going on right behind the basket as well. And there's
different languages being shouted out while you're putting here.
Yeah, exactly. So there's definitely distractions. Back, hole 4, par 4, 630 feet. And this one's, I feel like, one of the easier holes on the course. I mean, the trouble is off the tee, there's a low-hanging branch, and if you get underneath the branch, you can kind of skip to the left, have a wide-open shot into the green. It's kind of a quick green, but what do you think?
I think it's got the wall behind it to save you, and I think that I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of these guys not even go near that limb that we're talking about. They just go big hyzer. If you've got the distance, they go big hyzer in that opening there and swing it around the last tree. Like Garrett just did.
Yeah.
Let's see if he makes it. I mean, you can hit that last tree, but if you have their power, it doesn't seem to be in play. Yep, completely around it.
Jesus.
Yeah, makes the hole a lot easier when you're only 100 feet away after your first shot. So who do we got up next? Kevin. He looks very jacked up today. doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks like he's been working out or something.
Yeah, like he's got a lot. I mean, I'd give him the highest energy in the group for sure right now.
And was Ricky going down the middle?
I think Ricky went down the middle.
Nope, hyzer.
They all went hyzer. I didn't see anybody else all day go hyzer, and all of them go hyzer. Did you see anybody go hyzer?
No.
The whole group.
It's just so easy to go straight to me. And that same disc the Eagle flipped over.
What is he throwing there? Is that the cloud?
I think it is.
Huh. It's really flipping on him.
Who knows where that is?
Let me see. I see walls over there. Those are big.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could go and be on that hole.
I haven't seen anybody go that far, but he has a mid-range sidearm approach, so he can't be that far.
Yeah, there's so much space for
He's
them to
pin
throw
high.
there. Nothing to it.
Yeah. I
That's
guess you gotta go hyzer.
If you have the D.
If
I'm surprised you don't go hyzer.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Eric Oakley do it a couple times last year.
I mean, like I said, if you just miss that limb down the middle, you can throw a skip shot and have any sort of upshot.
Look at where he's at.
That's a hyzer.
If you're not going to get up and down from there, you're not probably playing good in the tournament.
So true. And we didn't. Oh, there's a nice birdie.
We didn't even get to see how far.
Yeah, there's just a couple tap
How
ins.
far Gurthie's was so far they couldn't even show us.
When I need to check the wind, I just let out my hair.
Disc golf is 90% mental. The other 10% also mental.
If you want to make new friends on the course, pick up someone's disc in the fairway. By accident.
Just going hyzer on it. That's so funny.
Stay getting birdies, my friends.
Hole 5, par 3, 495 feet. And this is kind of like a tweener layup. Maybe go for it. I know I go for it. What about you?
You're going for it? I'm not going
do.
for it just because I'm, 42 now, so I just lay in the middle and take my par every time. But the way they just threw that last shot, if they could just mimic their last tee shot, I mean, they'd all be having ace runs, it seems like. Except for
Seriously.
Eagle would be a little trouble off to the right. But overall, I think it's, something, if we don't see him go for it, I'll be kind of disappointed here.
Yeah, you're right.
I think the crowd will be. I think they should send emails from home if they don't see him go for it.
And this is playing as the 4th most difficult hole on the course. So I'm guessing by the statistics, one of them has to mess up.
Yeah. Look, that looks like a go for it to me. I'm not from here, but...
Yep, like you said, ace runs, pretty much. And the thing about this is as well as you can go down the middle. For me,
Is that what you do?
Yeah, I go down the middle to try to do like a little flex. I still go for it, but I don't do the easy, hyzer. And it looks like this one might have got away from him a bit. It did, but still gets through. That's kind of a lucky shot.
Yeah, I think, the wind changed throughout the day, and it became a little more favorable for this afternoon tee times. So I think that the wind's helping them. I think if you saw people play it in different conditions, it's a lot harder.
And there's our stat. Ricky comes up a bit short, and the thing about this is he's not going to be able to move forward. There's actually a drop zone about 100 feet behind that to where
So he can't make his famous Ricky save.
He can, it's just a lot more difficult, and this is so surprising. Eagle just laying up.
Well, I mean, he's becoming a golfer. Or it looked like a layup. We thought he was becoming a golfer. He just is so toned down, this cloud just flies out of the sky.
How did that happen?
Well, he barely throws the disc. When I was playing my best and throwing the furthest, I felt like I was barely throwing it. I think when you got it, you doesn't look like you rip it. It's those guys look like they rip it, doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but he threw like a spike hyzer layup.
But you saw how it was flipping. He finally got it to hold.
This is mind-boggling.
Well, Kevin Jones, I did a practice putting before the last night before the event, and boy, he was jamming a lot of jump putts, and he said that's all he's been working on is really trying to slam them in there.
And he's doing a really good job this round.
Ricky disappointed. It looks like losing 2 to the whole group
I can
at
throw
least.
this disc around the world in one shot.
Never play disc golf too far into the jungle. There may be cheetahs.
Someone on your card can't recall if they threw a 6 or a 7. It was probably an 8. See?
Well, that's where he's trying to keep up. He has that distance, but not quite their distance.
Right.
And I think that some of these holes really test him, and he has to throw a perfect shot.
Yeah, speaking about testing, first island hole we've had.
First time, that thing, I hate island holes. You know that. They just looking at it, I'm like, why? It's so difficult. And today it was really windy for most of the field when you were out there. I probably, but it did calm down for them here. I don't see the flag moving. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it was a small left to right win. And the way that these guys are playing, I can't imagine them missing it.
Oh, that's not
Hit
in.
the tree. Oh, but there you go.
That's where speed control. He's got the big distance, but really hard to throw slower and get the angle right.
This is butter.
I'm really surprised about the way they're playing the hole.
Yeah, this is typical of the newer age disc golfer.
Just rip the putter kind of low and.
Yep. No, I mean the eagle just throwing
Oh.
stable sidearm. You know,
Yeah, that doesn't
just
surprise me.
Yeah, just making the hole very easy.
All the guys that throw sidearm say it's a better angle coming in, and for the sidearm they feel a lot easier because they don't have the tree on the right.
Sure, you just take your most stable disc, aim at the tree, and then throw a hyzer.
One thing you give them credit here in Jonesboro, they make the drop zone where you're not going to lose 3-4 shots.
Right.
You know, you can get out of there, lose your 2 shots to the group, and you know it is heartbreaking because there's so few birdies, and this is the one you want to get, and when you don't get it, you lose 2 instead of 1. So
Right.
this is the one that really decorates the scorecard. I mean, if you don't get this birdie and you miss the island, it's hard to break. It's hard to break 30.
Yeah, and it's really tough mentally too, going through the rest of the round knowing that you lost those 2 to probably the top 10 in
Anybody
the
who's
field.
having a good day.
Right. I mean, and G's having he had such a good start that it's really not going to hurt his scorecard too much, but he's still thinking like, I missed an easy one. Hole 7, par 4, 615 feet. This is just another one that these guys are just going to absolute.
I'm curious to see where they get because I mean I'm throwing up past the tree there and I'm weak and I can't imagine how far they're throwing this up there. They must have standstill shots.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. And I think they might even just go hyzer around it. Like I have to throw I'm throwing left so that I have an easier approach kind of in. You know, it makes
You're going short left of the tree.
Yep, and then it gives me kind of a full shot into the green. Or it gives. I saw a few people doing it.
So he's doing the classic route in front of the tree.
That looked like it was going into the tree.
He just got through it.
Yeah. So now he has about 250, 300 feet straight hyzer sidearm into the green.
I think you see anybody who throws a sidearm going that way.
Oh, okay. So they're all kind of trying to get up left.
Which I agree with you. If you have the distance going straight, it gives you like a little chop hyzer to the hole. But I guess with the way they're going, if you get far enough, it's just a straight shot with nothing in the way. Ricky doesn't look like he's throwing very hard today.
Yeah.
I mean, it did carry up there because he's a big guy, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't look like he's got that extra pop.
I'm still mind blown about Eagles layup back there. I can't even
Well, think about how much it flipped. Think of how much it flipped the first 2 times he threw it, and then when he threw it there, he looked like he jackknifed it and he got a full flight.
When Gary he actually gets a roll out of the tree, it looked like. So he has a wide open sidearm in.
Sidearm for Garrett.
In the circle.
Not bad. It's tough to throw those when you're not throwing them a lot. But these other guys, it should be pretty routine.
Yeah, just a little chipper.
Whoa! Caught that one little dirt patch. Got a tough break right there.
He's been putting so good, though. He should make do from there, I'm guessing. But you never know.
Look how close. Yeah, a little. Is that a putter?
I think it's a gator.
Gator. I like
good.
this green. I think, though, that should be OB.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Maybe.
Somehow, if you... One side of it has to be OB.
And Ricky's actually kind of catching a couple bad breaks
Dude,
here.
he's hitting limbs.
That thing stopped him dead in his tracks.
These 33-footers are still 21-footers for him.
Mm-hmm.
But, everybody can miss.
Including Ricky.
Yeah. And, I didn't know that was going to happen. But you can just feel like it doesn't matter how good you are. If you got to make one after another.
Yeah, over and over, especially catching a bad break like that. And Garrett with a nice putt. Yeah, and he gets that stroke back from the last hole. And that's got to feel really good.
And if you see him making those putts,
Look out.
Yeah. He's going to get a look. I think, like I said, he's first in parked and top 5 in greens 1 and 2.
Yeah, he can throw the disc. No doubt about it.
And I looked, he was, every time he's played, last year he was second in parked. It wasn't like it's just a year. He's just like his thing.
I think when you, especially with the par 4s, when you throw the disc so far and accurately like Garrett does, you have so many short sonic approaches into the green. You're landing so soft, like it's probably pretty easy to park the hole.
And I think if you see Ricky there, he's kind of a guy that likes to play the player, I feel like. He keeps track of the group. He knows what everybody's doing, and he really doesn't like when he loses a stroke to everybody. So I think we should see something good out of him here, or try really hard. Oh, looks like the wind picked up on him. Wasn't just
Well, I think this is actually drone footage from days before.
okay. This looks like the win that I saw when I played the hole.
Oh, hole 8, par 3, 324 feet. Typically, if you have the distance, you're gonna throw sidearm, and that's what I think the whole group is going to do, except for maybe Garrett.
Goes Anheuser. I threw Heiser here in practice and parked it. It's pretty routine Heiser. I'm surprised people don't do it.
Yeah, he's going with that Anheuser.
Anheuser mid-range.
And this is a tough shot. Like, it's easy to get on that angle and carry too far.
But I think that's perfect. Oh! Chain high ace run on an elevated bucket.
Anheuser the whole way around
He
the
got that
bush.
really nice
Yeah.
end of a flat flight that you see from the left to right that they're known for.
Yeah, that was really, really good shot. And there's Ricky putting it at circle's edge, giving himself a chance. Let's see.
I think he's going to make this one. 2 in a row misses doesn't seem like him. He knows he just lost a stroke for the second time to the group in the series of 4 or 5 holes. Yeah, there it is.
Buckets. That was just right on the dead pole.
Yeah, what is he putting there? Is that a KC Orange or is that a regular?
I think it's just a regular, and there's Garrett with a miss there. Caught a lot of change, but just didn't catch, probably because it was downhill.
Yeah, it's tough to putt up in these baskets. If you notice Kevin though, that he's got that Barry Schultz kind of extension with the legs.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's added that. I think that may be the difference. Being able to get up on his toes. It takes a lot of athletic ability. When I try to teach people, I fall over. It's really hard to get up on your toes like that. So,
And he is a really great athlete. He's got the build for it, everything that it takes.
Eagles quietly still playing well. It doesn't seem like it. He's been real quiet in the round, but
Yeah. And then straight into hole 9, par 4, 715 feet, or 50 feet, pardon me. So this is just another one, kind of a lot like hole 2 off the tee. You just really want to hit the gap.
this has got to be one of the more difficult holes on the course. I mean, the options are crazy. I think we'll see Kevin Jones here go for a grenade second shot.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing around the course, that he throws it off here to the left, and then goes grenade. But I don't think he got it. Oh, there he got the skip. Yeah, so he's going to go grenade from over there. Because the angle into this hole, you have to go through a tree or throw a really crazy flexing sidearm that I've never seen anybody even attempt, or go over the tree like we'll see Garrett and Eagle try to do so that you can get up over the hill. And getting over that tree is no task.
This is just not even fun.
Oh, he is
to
up there.
Watch.
He is up there. If you get up there, then, sure you can make an angle to the hole.
You guys don't understand, that's not an option for even Ricky.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing to go. He went over that tree that he just hit. He went over it 150 feet further. Oh, he squeaks it. So this is actually in trouble. If this thing goes too far left, he's going to be kind of in the... Yeah, stuck behind those bunker
I think he's going to
trees.
have that little Anheuser in. I think he's going to have a little Anheuser right to the hole. It's going to
Really?
upset everybody who doesn't throw far. Because that's where I've been on my second shot before.
Ooh, and he goes through all the trees, catches a good break down the hill, might have a putt up.
I like that option. I wish mine would go through the trees or, when I'm playing it, because I want to putt uphill on
He
this
is
hole.
going grenade.
Yep, here it is. I heard rumors. Booyah.
Well, if you got it, throw it.
Tombstone's it at 29 feet. Not bad. So he's so far up, he has the sidearm angle.
He has a mid-range, or I think that's a gator right in. That's just unbelievable. I'm throwing full power from the bottom of the hill. Heiser trying to beat that tree.
Because we can't get up over the hill and be low enough to the green. That's the
He's
issue.
going knee.
Anheuser. There it is. Comes in and around. Nothing.
Catches the best break ever.
Yeah, you don't want to be down that water. But this is that putt that he's facing right here. I hate this putt. I don't want that putt. Nice.
Not
Double
a problem.
G.
That was such a great birdie from where he was.
You watch Double G make that kind of birdie on a hole, he's going to have one of the better days. Another good day for Jonesboro for Garrett Gurthie, I'm thinking.
Here's Ricky. Catches one as well. That was a good break to go all the way down there.
See, this putt, it just makes you feel a little nervous. But these guys are pushing each other. I think, people say that the feature group does matter. And And I think you can look here and see that. I think that if each one of these guys is playing in a group with 3 other guys, probably not going to see them all just step up and jam these downhill 35-footers. One of them might miss it because you feel a little pressure, but when every guy in your group steps up and knocks it down, you're like, oh, it's my turn. I have to make it. And I think that's a huge factor into competitive sports.
Hole 10, par 3, 360 feet. And this is just, I like this hole. I do. I like the way that it slopes, and so you can actually bend a backhand over there and get a nice anti-skip to the basket.
You think that log's on purpose, or it just felt like that?
I think it just felt like that, but it's really placed well.
Yeah, then the second you come in a hair early, it blocks you out.
This is a tough shot because what happens is you make the gap, and then you'll skip all the way down this hill.
Yeah, and in there is not fun unless you get through a little bit.
Right, and backhand, there's a low ceiling a bit, so it's kind of tough to get low enough.
I like what you say, the negative. You don't really see too many shots in disc golf anymore where you get to throw a flat shot and then catch a negative skip, and kick to the right, which we haven't seen anybody here even get close to. See if Ricky can even get a look at the green. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're playing this hole right. Like you said, they're throwing sidearms at the wrong angle, and Eagle didn't commit to the backhand. But here, this should be a Garrett Gurthie special, I'm thinking. So he's thrown it right. But
That's
I don't
nice.
think
No, that's gonna get there. Yeah. Circle's edge. Boom.
Circle's edge on that hole again, though. That doesn't look
Nightmare.
like much of a hill, but I don't know what it is. Anything elevated with a hill around makes me nervous.
And Eagle's in a tough spot. He's having to do Anheuser catches a limb, and that's bogey town.
Yeah, I bogeyed this hole last year. It's one of my only bogeys. It's if you get off to the right or left somehow, even though it doesn't look that bad, you just can't get out of there. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Give Brad credit. His shul is good enough to walk through, but tough to throw through. Kevin got through up there with the sidearm. I think that's quite a great break. That's a stroke break kicking through up to the front.
Easy pitch out. And here's Ricky. Didn't get it up.
I think you just can't make every one. I was like, can he make every one that he faces? And
Some rounds he does.
I know, I've seen it, but it's tiring.
This is actually. Here's Garrett lining up for another birdie.
I mean, if he makes this one, I'm going to say that he wins the card. Yeah, I think,
You're right. When Garrett's making putts, especially from Circle's Edge, I mean, when anybody at that level's making putts from Circle's Edge.
But when a guy who throws it 100 feet further than the rest of the group.
On a course like this.
Yeah, could make a big difference when you head to the back nine. I mean, Eagle can keep up with him, no problem, but his angles aren't as tight as Garrett's today.
Yep. Hole 11, par 4, 560 feet. And this is...
These flyovers are really tricking the crowd. It makes it look like they're playing in torrential winds.
Oh, man. So we're just playing hyzer straight out of this gap. You want to hit a semi-tough gap, but not really. And then you get around the corner, and then it's either a sidearm or Anheuser into the pin. There's no OB. So this is really, I think, one of the easier birdies on the course.
Especially if you're throwing it where they're throwing it so far up there that they don't even have to really make a big turn on their second shot.
Yeah, and I just don't see a lot of people bogeying this hole unless they're, opting for a 3-putt or something.
Yeah. But look where they're throwing it. That's that tree back there that everybody else is landing under. Back about 100 feet if you don't make the corner perfect. And they're throwing it around the tree, around the corner.
He wants it to get left. The thing that you can do, especially, that's going to be just fine, though. I think.
For the sidearm.
The thing about this hole, I think the mistake that a lot of people make is they get it a little bit too flat and they go too far, and then they cut off the angle into the green,
Unless you got the Ricky sidearm high or something, you can get away with that.
Like, he's still from there. I mean, that's not just a straight shot into the green. He's going to have to throw a high sidearm into the hillside. Totally doable, but the further you go straight, the harder it gets.
Yeah, I threw rollers from back there in the years past. That's the only way I could get in there. But
that's perfect.
Yeah. But Ricky loves those, though. He loves those little half flex, overstable. I think he's been missing that, for a few years. That was like his signature shot.
Speaking of signature shots, this is Garrett going with the Sonic. almost dropping in a deuce.
What is it with his confidence here? He hasn't had a strong year so far, and he gets to Jonesboro, and now he's playing like, the guy that everybody had last year on tour saying he's the new hot player. What do you think it is about this place, besides the distance, that just makes him make his putts?
Oh, no. Talk about the worst break of all time.
That was a pretty bad break.
He was 2 inches from 2 in it, and then now...
now he's going to have to make a 50-footer.
Yeah.
But what do you think it is that makes Gurthie step up here?
I think it is that. I think that he knows he has a huge advantage over the playing field. Confidence in years past can definitely come into, current years to where he's had great rounds before, and he misses that one, but he has great rounds before. Maybe he was a little bit distracted or something. He looked to somebody.
I just think that, we're starting to see that, certain players, certain courses, like in ball golf.
Courses.
There's certain ones that Rose or Tiger or somebody will play a certain way at or Phil, but then another course they have no shot at.
Oh, no. This basket is doing them dirty right now.
Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think the little wind on the back nine here, you could see the flags moving for the first time. Maybe they just were so in the zone they haven't taken consideration for that. They're just going through the motion and, oh, God, there is a little wind. I left it low.
Yep.
I think Garrett, though, when you see a lot of Garrett golf is when he gets going, you'll see that random missed putt in the middle of a streak.
Well, we've seen him miss 2 now.
Yeah. He does that random miss when you just like, well, he's made everything. He's going to make this one, but then he doesn't. But then he makes up for it with his distance. So, horses for courses, though, I think that we're going to start seeing a lot more of that. You'll start to see certain names at certain pro tours that are always at the top, and then the next one they may not be.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And we're going to see speak about distance, hole 12.
Do they get over the hill here or not?
I think so. So there's this out of bounds to the bottom. It's like 12 foot wide. I can't picture any of these guys having any problems with that. Where like I keep saying me, but that's the only reference I have. I'm barely getting over that.
Yeah, I missed it one year, and so now I'm all nervous every time I approach it. Like, can I make it? I know it's far, and I know people don't want to hear about how I threw it, but I saw Drew Gibson make the hill in practice, and I like the way Garrett is playing this. He's trying to go to the right of the trees down there.
He's in the middle, but he's so close he should be able to.
So he can come up at the hole instead of trying to throw an Annie down that around the tree, trying to have speed control. But I'm surprised a lot of guys aren't taking the route down to the right. With their distance, they can throw it pin high down to the right and have a wide open hyzer shot with no tree in the way. So
did you practice that at all?
I have in the years past, and I've seen people try it in my groups and the top couple groups the last few years, and just because that approach that they have there, sure, you can make it.
Highly difficult.
It's just a lot of luck involved with it. The angle, you could slide away, you could roll away.
Yeah, and the right shot is throwing anhyzer, soft lander, but when you juice it just a little bit, you can go all the way to the bottom of the hill. And this is that flippy disc. Is he going to park it?
Wow.
Jeez.
I just think he's like, I almost feel like he's overpowering everything today. It looks like he's not throwing as hard, but somehow the disc, either it's the disc of his choice or he just is flipping his wrist a hair. It happens a lot, and the thing about golf, same as ball golf, it's not like he can go throw a practice shot right now and figure out why he's doing it.
Right.
He's like trying to figure it out throughout the round.
And this is a really tough shot. He's going to go anhyzer around the tree, and it's just not going to work.
Yeah, and then what is that going to try to make that putt?
I think he's got to try to make it.
Oh, my God, I can't see him. I think he lays it up. I don't think even Ricky's going to try to make that putt from there.
I think that Ricky's trying to make that putt.
Right, so he's making a putt for 2 on this hole. For those of you who've been to Jonesboro, taking a putt for 2 on that hole is only in stories.
Exactly, fairy tales. Here's Garrett looking at a sidearm anhyzer from the Shul money.
Yeah.
That looked really
These
great.
guys are showing you today how hard it is to design courses.
I bet you Eagle makes this. Yeah. I haven't seen it either, but
this is how.
Oh, he lays up.
He didn't even try. He's becoming a golfer. I told you that. You can see it in him. He's learning how to play the game, not just show his skills. And these guys are making it hard to design courses.
And Kevin's missed a couple makeable putts the last 2 holes. It's surprising, especially with the hot start, with the big putts that he made early. Maybe some nerves, knowing that he's kind of pushing.
Well, he really wants to make a move, and he wants to show people that he's still, one of the top 4 or 5 golfers this year by far. And he's been winning a lot of locally since the last Pro Tour. He's been winning some small tournaments.
Which can definitely gain your confidence for sure.
And I think that people here expect a lot out of him. He's from Arkansas. They put him on the card, and he's got his friends and family around, and that creates a lot of pressure. Plus, I know his sponsors are here. They, the owners are here and everything. I mean, so
yeah,
there's a lot going on. Probably this is the hole that really gets people.
Yeah, so it's 353, and it probably plays about that, but it's way up to the left, so you have to really hug the trees on the left tight with a stable disc and get some sort of skip up the hill. Probably one of the more difficult birdies on the course, for sure.
You have to almost look like you've thrown a bad shot.
Right.
And then if you it still ends up down to the right. If you throw something that you can see fly, it won't be any good. It'll hit those trees, and those are some of the nastiest thorns on the course. He's cleaned them up a bit at the last couple of years, but they're bad. You want to almost chop something off, and Garrett caught a limb on the tree. Even though he cut that one limb fell, that was the signature limb, he still caught part of the brush that grew out from where the limb used to be. Kind of unbelievable. Kevin's thrown it correctly, but will he get the correct skip? Oh, he does. But see how hard it is to maintain that hill? I think this is a great hole design. I think we need to find more par threes that require this kind of angle, and you have to have the distance. Not anybody can just walk up and park this hole.
This looks nice.
But see, they're starting it too wide, so the skip's going to push him down the hill.
Yep.
It has to look like you shanked it.
And if you, like you said, it's almost like you have to hit the tree right in front of you with Heiser pushing left, and with their power, they're getting to that tree line too fast. Maybe throwing too fast of a disc. Maybe if they tone down and throw, a lower speed disc.
I think if you saw someone who only threw 380 max and he threw his full drive there, he'd have a better chance.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because time to hook up. But like back to the course design thing, I think that we just have to, what did Bogoff do? I don't think there is this problem in Bogoff. I don't think there is multiple people who hit the ball 50, 60 yards and farther than everybody.
I mean, they did have that time where they, as Eagle lines this up for a while here, he must have a tough, difficult putt. And there's just another layup, really, is they tiger-proofed the course. They started pushing all the tees back, and further. I'm guessing, so Kevin's outside the circle, and early on in the round, he was more comfortable outside the circle. And
there it is.
Yep.
Yeah, he does seem more comfortable inside the circle in general, and I think that lines up for his style. He's so poised, looks like he's jump putting every time he's putting.
Yeah, that is true. Like you said, getting really low with the getting on his toes at the release.
Hi guys, I'm Alyssa Van Lannen. You've probably seen me hiding in front of the tee pad or laying in the bushes trying to get the best shot. For the best moments in disc golf on and off the course through my photos and videos, check out patreon.com/Alyssa Van Lannen.
As we see Ricky actually miss a shorter putt, and then he goes all the way down in the woods, tries to pitch out, hits another limb, and Ricky now is facing a 30-footer for bogey.
Wow.
Talk about turn of events.
I think he's not too happy right now. And
you
the thing is with Rick is like, he probably make this, so you should say it doesn't matter if he didn't go for that last one. But most people, that would have really destroyed him. Because, yeah, but he just walks up and makes a 32-footer like it's a walk in the park. And most people at that point can't do it. But, he never gives up. You see he's running it out of there. That's why he hit the limb. But you have to be confident to make the 32-footer to be able to run shots like that and still save your bogeys. He doesn't bleed. Keeps the blood from dripping out of him.
Garrett with a nice putt there.
Good.
So Kevin Jones,
scored.
Yeah, got another birdie there, and him and Garrett are having a nice little battle here. Wysocki, it looks like he's playing really bad, but
he's
like
still hanging in.
Yeah, he's just hanging in. And
same with Eagle. You don't see him making any of the putts, but his drives are so good that he's still, 5 under, 4 under through the round so far? I mean,
this has got to be the most difficult two on the course, for sure. 520 feet, downhill, OB all short. You can see the kind of the yellow string there. And then it's pitched up on this, leaning log, so it's a tough putt even if you get down there.
Well, for average humans, it's a very, very difficult shot. And if you're at home, you probably can't make it over unless the wind's favorable. And so the real play would be to chip it 300 feet and then have yourself a 280-foot straight shot. Because even if you make it over, you'll end up being so far left that you don't have a shot to the hole. So I think that, for you watching this at home and you see these guys just tossing it down to this hole, the perspective is not there. I don't think.
It looks like it's 200 or 350 feet. This thing, is even being so downhill, it's still playing so far, especially when you get it. It's usually a right to left crosswind, so if you try to throw a flex shot to fit it through the gap, this is what can happen. You can go straight right.
Right to the OB.
Yep.
I mean, that disc is not flying good for him today.
I don't know why he keeps throwing it.
I think he wants it to work. You know how you get that disc?
He actually got a good kick.
Did he get out?
Yeah, I think he might
Come
have got
on.
out. This is the typical miss, though. You don't get it too far over because it gets flat. The wind carries it to the left, and that's a tricky upshot. He's going to have to go
Sidearm backdoor
Yes.
shot. I had to do that once before. I mean, that's. I wish that wasn't there. Then this hole would be really challenging.
Look at Garrett. Full layout. Try to make that. I think that's his Sonic again. He makes a lot of those.
Has he been making some?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has nice touch. I think his major issue is probably between Sonic and Major Driver. Besides that, I mean, he has great touch and great distance. Wow. I don't see that a lot of stuff out of Eagle. That was a pretty cool thing. But you're right, he got safe. Nobody throws over there and gets safe.
Do you think he went over the trees?
He went through them.
Yeah.
You never see anybody, but that's what, I hate to give a shout out in this way, but that's what Avery Jenkins would have said back in the day. What would he have said? That's what power will get you.
Yeah.
And
Oh!
Whoa.
Where's he coming from? Kevin Jones with another jump putt. He is absolutely on fire. At this point, if I was his coach, I would say, don't try to park it. Throw it to 35 feet.
Well, I remember a lot of that. That's how you played for a long time. When you were coming up about where Kevin Jones is right now in his career, you would come up to me all the time and say, I'd much rather be at 33 feet than be at 23 feet.
That's so true.
And I think that happens to the up-and-coming golfer. He finds that groove spot, and the should make becomes a lot harder than the I can make.
Right, and so we go from the probably the most difficult two to the easiest two on the course, for sure. It's just right there, 275 or 70 feet. I mean, a little bit of a slope, but it's just a gradual hyzer with whatever disc you want to throw in your bag.
Right. I mean, I can't speak for Kevin or Eagles. I don't know them as well, but I mean, I known Garrett and Ricky since they were children.
Yeah.
And they've seen this shot on so many disc golf courses. It's mind-blowing. I mean, Garrett Gurthie, when he was 9 years old, was parking this shot with him. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
270 hyzer, he'd come up to you and be like, got it, want to see me throw it? And you'd laugh, and he'd go and park it, so I'm pretty sure he'll put it pretty close.
There you go. It's a great point. He has been playing since he was a little kid, for sure.
And I feel like the Eagles and Kevins have come into the game. I mean, even though Eagles been playing since a kid, they're so young, they've come into the game since the game's been changed.
Yeah.
Where you had to have 5 of these 270 holes wired every single time or you couldn't compete. Yeah,
because every hole was under 350 feet.
Right. I mean, Ricky, people say, he's better for putting. These are the kind of shots that he gets those high driving percentages, which I don't know what that is he's throwing there. What is that? I mean,
think
it worked.
it's a
wombat or something?
No, it's the new classic Rock 3 or what is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for butchering that disc, but he throws it well. And
oh no! And the rollaway. So
the course is not loving Ricky.
Yeah, Rick
right now.
Rick's probably in a bad place right now in his mind, but he's
think
trying.
He makes this? This one, I don't think so. I don't think he makes this.
I'm gonna go. He's got it. Oh my God! It's an airmail.
You can't. It was incredible to see him make the last comebacker for bogey, but when it happens again, 2 holes later, it's gotta wear on you mentally.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also this fact that he's in this power group, and if he's playing with some other guys, maybe that miss doesn't hurt him as much. He doesn't feel as bad. But when the other guys are going to be almost 10 under par, and you go, if I don't make this, I'm dropping to 3 under.
Right.
I think that Ricky didn't come to take 10th place. Ricky's there to win, and if he doesn't win, he's not happy.
Sure, that's a really great point.
So right now, he sees the tournament's almost slipped out of his hands in his mind.
Well, and it has.
Yeah.
You get the whole entire field, and obviously it hasn't, but
I mean, there's 2 rounds left.
At this point, you can't give the best disc golfers in the world 7 shots.
And at this point, I mean, there's a guy named Emerson Keith at 12 under in the clubhouse.
Right.
And there's this guy, Ulibarri, running down the back side of the course right now, approaching double digits.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask to come back from
9 strokes.
even being as good as he is. And
Yeah.
I wanted to make a point. We said that Kevin's more comfortable at Circle's Edge. He lands at that 30 foot, 25 foot, and he missed it right there. So it is interesting to see this kind of card unfold with the different styles, and they're all having their own trials right now on the course.
Yeah, they're all showing you where their best and worst points are, and that's a good thing about the course, And I think that's why this is not the type of course that you can come back from 9 strokes. That's why I'm not saying that people are like, oh, 9 strokes, that's nothing. I can give you 100 examples, Dave. But the real truth is that, on a lot of courses you can lose 5 strokes on a hole.
Sure.
That's not the case here.
Right.
These guys are going to be tightly scored the whole way, and that's why I play this event personally. I think this is one of the better layouts we face all year.
And so, hole 16 is probably the most scoreable hole, especially for this card with their big distance.
Yeah, I'm curious how far. Do they get all the way to the
I
bottom?
think they throw it to the bottom, Dave.
Come on. He's down there?
Yeah. Yeah, and then he has, if he gets past those trees, he has a couple
Come on.
100 feet. This is a par 5. This is, we keep saying for
You guys-
regular people.
You guys see that little hill there that those people are standing on? If you can get a skip off of that, then you're almost superhuman, like Kevin's about to do. But if you can do what you just saw those other guys doing,
Look at, he's getting a roll to a perfect spot.
I mean, that is the right spot, but down to the water's edge, is that real?
Yeah, it's real. This is a shorter par 5, mind you. 800, what is it, 855 feet? Yeah, 855 feet. It's a shorter par 5, especially the next shot's playing downhill. So
Right under the tree. Do you think Ricky can get sidearm across the water there?
I think he can. I don't know what he's going to do right now.
I think he's going to try it. I think he's feeling desperate.
Yeah, I mean, we'd both try it if we were. And Garrett is that?
Where is that? Wow.
Yeah.
So I saw Gibson do that. You have to have big power to go over those trees on the right. It's there. It's a blind the whole way, and if you nick something, you might as well, toss 3 or 4 strokes on the ground. But
And if I was Rick's caddy, I'd say lay it up to the water's edge, get a drop-in birdie.
Ooh, that is not. What is that?
And don't do that.
And that's why it's an 855-foot par 5, because if you're not in the perfect position and you try to go over the water, you're scoring a 6.
And, we didn't explain to the right, you have a lot of room, but on the second shot, you don't have a lot of room. There's actually a path that's out of bounds. So if you turn something over, you can definitely be OB as well. And then as Kevin throws putter upshot there, and eagle, I don't even know how to explain this. He threw it to the water's edge, and he has the drop zone that they give you, which is really easy.
It's right there on the left.
Yeah.
You can see it. He's up to the drop zone.
He almost two'd it. So they're just making this hole so easy, and here's Ricky going to the drop zone, wasting no time.
I've heard some people, and I kind of agree with them, some of the locals, they're sitting up in that tent they watch every year. They're volunteers. They'd like to see this be an island green, somewhat.
And it kind of is, but it does open up to the right. You can see like the OB line behind Double G as he misses. That was for eagle as well. So
yeah, these
a
are all
tough
for
miss.
eagles. So if they don't make them, they don't make them. But this is the tough. I hate these downhill into a headwind putt. It's not my favorite. And it seems like what I've been watching Eagle over the last few years, that's one of his specialties, is a little short headwind putt. And most players struggle with that. I think that's where he scores differently a lot.
this is that tester that Kevin's had on the last few holes. Makes good there. Really great eagle.
You can see he's really comfortable here in Arkansas and doing good with Prodigy, so should be good for him. And it's nice. Almost everybody on this card is in a new brand in the last year or two.
Yeah.
Except for Eagle. But
And Garrett to tap in for birdie. That's nice to be able to miss a putt and still get a bird.
yeah, that's where people would say, well, it's not really a par 5, but go play it. See if you can get across in 2.
We're back. Hole 17, par 4, 660 feet. Pretty cool hole. It's interesting doing commentary for probably one of the furthest throwing cards we've ever done commentary for.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on the card can throw. I mean, people don't see Ricky's distance, but it's up there. And then Kevin Jones is known, and then you got, obviously, the next 2 farthest throwers in the world.
And so I'm curious to see, like, how far they can throw this. Are they going to throw it, like, almost to the green?
Yeah. I think he just missed the Mando, though. Did you see did he go into the pole there?
No.
No, okay.
He was good. Look at this.
That go through the... Yeah. You got to say 4, when you're throwing up on the next group.
It's so hard for us to, give a good perspective of what's going on right here. Like, Kevin's throwing putter there, I believe. That's
just
a putter.
So he's doing that just so he doesn't have a chance of being down the woods or over the fence, and he knows he can get to the hole in 2.
Yeah.
He told me that, actually. I remember he's like, I don't even mess with that hole. I can throw a mid-range. And
I like
that's
that. I actually like that idea. This is leaking possibly OB.
And that was the break we've seen of the round. You have to give Garrett the double G break.
That was the break of the year.
That was clearly out of bounds. Out of bounds, hits out of bounds, cut rolls through a fence back into bounds. But the spin, and now Ricky will probably slide out.
Yeah,
But
by an inch.
yeah, well, they're all safe. But yeah, no. The kickback, I know it had the proper spin. That's what Al Shack would have said. Well, it had the correct spin on it.
It was 6 feet out of bounds over the fence, and then cut rolled back.
It's more about that power. It has so much spin on the disc that you don't know what kind of action it's going to get when it hits the ground compared to the average person.
Ricky's going with a pig here. Let's see if we can see the reaction from the... And that's going to be a tough putt. I mean, it's outside the circle. You can see it. It looks short.
I don't got him making that one either.
No.
I think
No way.
I think he's wants to be off the course right now. I think he's ready to get in the car and get another day and show his best on another day.
If Double G can get birdie after that break, like you said, then it's his round today.
Right. I mean,
And
he's
that's-
pushing Jones. I think he can catch Jones by the end of this.
Eagle making jump putts to the pin.
Yeah, that's the great way to play disc golf. Long drive, jump putt, 3. Easy bird.
But it's a great hole, I think. Like, it challenges your tee shot, and then it has a tricky up shot,
There's no way to make
for
it
you-
harder.
For you and I, like, it's a fun hole, isn't
Yeah,
it?
how can you make it harder? You can't really do anything to make it so that it won't be that easy for him, unless you make it just dumb. With OB everywhere where you can't see blind OB or something. But here comes Ricky trying to salvage something on the last couple holes. Yep, it didn't have the energy on it. Like I told you, it just looks like it's, sometimes your day's over.
Can Kevin make another jumper? Yes.
Wow, gets to a 12 under?
I think that was incredible.
That would put him in a tie for the lead on the leaderboard with
I
you
think-
and Keith.
Well, I think that actually that this score is possibly for this hole. So I think he might...
I've just gotten to 11
Yeah,
under.
gotten to 11, and then Garrett goes to 10 there. And
So-
Eagle's going hyzer on 18.
That looks tight.
Par 4.
That does not look good.
This is the best hole on the course, in my opinion. This one challenges everybody.
Yeah, no matter how you play it.
Yeah.
And Eagle doesn't have a history of playing well on this hole. It's just something that doesn't suit him, I don't think. He had a bogey to finish last year's tournament, and he just put himself in a bad position again. Garrett also taking that shot. Does he get to the good position?
Yes.
Yes. They both hit the same tree, and Garrett's on the front, and he's on the back, and that's how certain days go.
Couple good breaks for Garrett.
Going forehand off the tee here?
I don't know if you have the power, it's great.
But why over there? That was really surprising. You think it's because he had such a good round, he was nervous he was going to shank an OB or something?
Yeah, maybe just laying it up, knowing that he can pitch up, get par, get out off the course with a really good, 11 down is so
Yeah,
good
get
on
to the
this
lead
course.
card,
Yeah.
and take his chances. Because that was not the way he's played the course. Ricky also tries to get around the tree. And I think that the problem with this hole, what these guys are doing, their power tempts them to go around that tree. But it doesn't matter who you are. You should be coming just short of that tree.
Okay.
Into the middle, and then they can reach it up the right side. But I think that's the major issue that I'm seeing on it. I used to try to go around it, and they have way more power than me, but with an OB now on the right there, it's impossible. You end up in this tree a lot, and then you have to try to pitch to a spot, and you get the same score as someone who laid up. So, and sometimes you can get bad lies up there.
Kevin got a really bad break, shot straight down. He's going to have to earn his par at this point, and Garrett's in a perfect position. Like you said, if you're on that right side and you have that hyzer approach, there is OB to the right, and so it's kind of hard to push left. You really have to hit this gap high, which he's done. This looks perfect.
Does he really reach it from back there?
I think he does.
Wow.
Yeah, that looked good. That looked like a good angle.
I mean, that's how I would love to have played the hole, but my second shot comes up short there, as Ricky's now...
That's for par.
Got himself under par. He's ready to get to the car, and look for him to have a strong weekend. Usually Ricky likes to bounce back.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's the, two-time champion here?
Yeah, which is surprising that he didn't have the day that we expected him to have, but like you said, this course suits him well, and we'll look for him to bounce back for sure. This is eagle for his par.
Oh.
Or was that for birdie?
Might have been for...
No. He pitched out. Yeah, that was actually... So he bogeys the hole. This is for par. And that's a strong round for Kevin.
Puts an 11 under on, shows the Arkansas crowd how much, their support matters to him, and they'll get to see him play in the lead card tomorrow.
And this is to tie him. This is to go... That's 11 under.
So that would make it, what, Keith, yourself, him, and Jones tomorrow?
That's right.
And we got Eagle tapping in, and, quietly shot himself a little 9 under. Didn't even look like he did anything.
Yeah.
And he's only 2 off the pace.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, I want to thank Paul for having me, and look forward to doing this again sometime. And keep watching this weekend. It's going to get interesting because the weather's getting crazy.